Hello, this is Matt Lowe, and I am excited to tell you about an exciting conference that I have to expand your influence and expand your impact as a leader. This is Restore Leadership, restoration for you and restoration for what it means to be a leader. What you're going to come away with when you attend this conference is a sense of meaning, a sense of purpose, and a way to serve. What I want you to do is I want you to have the ability to serve while doing what you are meant to do. There will be 4 different lesson plans that we go through that I will take you through as a guide, an interactive process that you're able to work with alongside the other people attending the conference, as well as going through each step-by-step process of getting a vision, figuring out what your purpose is, and seeing how you can serve in that capacity. Let's see, we're going to start off with lesson 1. And lesson 1 is a big one. It's a heavy one, but it's one that is deeply meaningful and it has made a huge impact on my life. It is through the work of Viktor Frankl in Man's Search for Meaning. And so what this essentially is we're looking at the negative turns and positive turns that have happened in your life so far, creating a timeline, figuring out what the redemptive perspective on that timeline is. What Viktor Frankl has come to call it is the redemptive perspective on suffering. Frankl claims that every man and woman has a longing for meaning and purpose in their life. And he found that a way for logotherapy, something that he came up with in the mid-1900s, is a way of doing therapy based in finding purpose through your past, but then also finding purpose in a project that is deeply meaningful to you. Through this process, we'll see your life as a storyline that has power, that has purpose in the positives and also the negatives. This is redemptive. And so you are living in a story that has a plot, it has characters, it has ups and downs, and it is a journey, and it is something that is worth being on and worth going on and continuing in. It is a journey of restoration. This is the restoring of you and restoring of you into a leader and somebody that has great influence and great impact. The second lesson, I'll just say this, the early morning is going to be a tough morning, but it's going to be definitely worth it. The second lesson is going to be inspired by the work of Deep Change by Robert Quinn. And Robert Quinn talks about personal but also organizational change and staying away from this idea of slow death. So we move away and dive into change, literally dive into change and see how we can be a part of it personally, but also then allow it to come out and be in the organization. And so Quinn says that if we are not progressing, then we are slowly dying. And so he contends that we always need to be pushing into ourselves for change, because that is where the most impact is going to come for our change in the greater world. So through this, we learn about ourselves emotionally and spiritually and mentally, and we test ourselves and figure out why we do the things that we do and push ourselves. And so it's through this process that I'll be guiding us into what it means to get through something while having purpose. And so having a purpose and figuring out what the change is that we need to do to make that purpose come about. And so the change that happens in ourselves is what's going to propel us forward to make the change in the world. Then we will have lunch, and lunch will be a great time because we'll have the ability to dive into these questions further with one another, and just the really strong ability to test this, what we've learned, and go through the questions of storyline, the positive, negative turns, and the deep change. There'll be questions provided during lunchtime for you to be with one another in. And we'll come back with the third lesson after lunch with an exciting but calming and very peaceful meditation to draw us back in what it means to be at the center of our purpose. And so this meditation takes us through a forest and takes us to our heart. The heart is a metaphor of a cabin in the middle of a forest, and we enter into the room, and Jesus is there, and he greets our heart, and he allows us and brings us in. And so this third lesson is really going to be connecting our purpose, connecting like all the things that we've connected with in the first and second lesson, and allowing that to connect with our purpose and what we're meant to do. And so in this lesson, we're going to look at teachings by Robert McEwen, which he wrote Essentialism. And Essentialism is really just asking a separate set of questions to figure out what is our essential thing. What are we going to dedicate to it, and what is the one thing that's going to make us come alive? And so Greg McEwen, instead of doing trade-offs of what's going to get me both things, Greg McEwen asks, what is your essential thing? And so what is your one purposeful thing that is going to allow you to be vitalized and to give you great purpose in your life? And so this is connecting with Viktor Frankl's work of the redemptive perspective on suffering, and then also the doing something with great purpose, a project that allows you to make you feel like that is fulfilling. And after all, this whole idea of leadership, this is where it's all going to come together in the fourth lesson. Because after all, what it means to be a leader isn't so much a place of authority or a place of power. It's a way to serve. And so the way we're restoring what it means to be a leader is by serving. What it means to be a leader is to be a servant, as Jesus framed for us. Jesus said he came to not serve, but to serve. And so we are going to imitate that as leaders. And so Dwight Peterson says that Christians should not aspire to be leaders. And so the reason he says that is because it puts all the focus on being a leader and having a place of power and authority, and that's not what the kingdom is about. The kingdom is about serving. And so the way we restore leadership is by serving, and it's through that we get our authority or reputation with people and community. And so the way we look at this is through whole systems method of leadership. And so we'll take an awareness of ourselves, an awareness of social circumstances, the ability to listen, the ability to adapt to different characteristics, and the ability to seek diverse perspectives. And so we are going into this as a whole picture, and seeing what our role is in it, how we can personally change ourselves, personally change the world, what our role is in that, and how we can better live our life as a better story. Essentially, serving while doing what you were meant to do. And so it's through this process that we'll come to this place of figuring out what it means to serve. We are often not taught how to serve or what it means to serve. We're told to serve and shown people that are exemplified, but we're going to figure out what it means for you to serve and to find purpose in what you are doing. And so that is for you to learn from, to get vision here, so you can figure out what you are meant to do and to serve while you are doing it. And that's how we're going to restore you, and how we're going to restore leadership is by getting you to serve while doing what you are meant to do. Thank you, and I'm excited to have you attend and to learn further from this Restored Leadership Conference. Look forward to seeing you.